Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Noel Ferrier.
Yes, thank you.
Need vodka.
The Queen, the Queen.
Yes, indeed.
God bless her.
All of them. Noel, on Queen's birthday morning, I picked up the newspaper.
Oh, that all.
Looked under N, nothing there.
No.
So went up the list and all of a sudden saw Ferrier, Order of Australia. Well done.
Thank you very much, but it was quite a thrill. And I know Elizabeth's pleased.
Have you heard from her?
She's thrilled. She was the first one to ring.
What about Phil?
Phil was out hunting.
Yes.
But he sent his best wishes. But Elizabeth said, now they're running at Randwick today, aren't they? I said, yes. She said, there's a horse running in the fourth called Medal of Honour. And she said, put $10 on.
What happened?
The races were cancelled. But anyway, no, she was thrilled. Bill Hayden was thrilled. We're all thrilled, so we got the trifecta.
Lovely. I was talking very briefly behind the set, which is my want, just before starting on the show. And what I didn't ask you, the first lass who opened the show, Donna Lee, who was fabulous. Do you know whose daughter she is?
Yeah, Gloria's.
Oh, yes, Gloria Lawrence, yes. Oh,
she's terrific, and she's got so much of Gloria about her, but she at the same time is very individual. I think she's a dynamic performer.
Matter of fact, we might have just a shot here, a freeze frame of Donna, in which you really can see the great likeness.
Really?
Of that's me at the moment. It'll continue to be me.
You look very like Gloria there.
Not to worry. Yeah, anyway, thank you very much.
Oh, well, there's so much
charming of you. Noel, do you think, with the award being given to you, do you think that people in theatre in Australia are given sufficient recognition?
Oh, probably not, but because it's still regarded very much as sort of a bit of a joke business here. You know, I mean, we had a carpenter in our place the other day doing some renovations, and he saw me sort of just wafting around the place, as we all seem to do during the day.
So you wafted many times.
And he said to me, finally he got up the courage and he said, it must be terrific being an actor, but what do you do for a living? That is really a lot of the attitude that still exists in this country, that they can't take the business of acting or the art or the profession of acting as a profession. They still think that everyone does it as some sort of game.
Why is it, Noel? Because of the isolation of the country, or because we're young?
I think it's a mixture of the two. I think that the arts have never been taken very seriously in this country, I don't think, by the mass, you know, and consequently it's still thought of pretty much as a very small endeavour to be involved in.
Have you ever considered getting into politics and maybe doing something about this?
Well, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about what's going on at the moment. In fact, I'm seriously thinking about starting my own party, which of course is the popular thing to do these days.
Of course. What would it be?
Well, I was going to call it the Jiggery Pokery Party.
The Jiggery Pokery?
Yes, well, it's a sort of a coalition of the jiggers and the pokers.
Both of which you've been.
Exactly, at some stage in my life. So I was going to call it the Jiggery Pokery Party, which I think would win, because we'd have a minister for lurks and perks, we'd have a minister for inebriation, we'd have a minister for the arts and culture, and we'd have several ministers, and I'd certainly be probably the treasurer.
Yes, well, why not? Why not? Would you like to address us today as one of those ministers?
No, but I will.
Okay. I mean, which minister do you have in mind?
I will do the treasurer, but he will be known as the Minister of Gobbledegook.
Okay, the Minister of Gobbledegook.
Gobbledegook.
If you'd like to take your position over there.
Oh!
Yes.
There's a factory.
We have spared no expense, and also balloons and streamers and everything, no?
Gosh. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister for Gobbledegook.
Right. Good afternoon, or if you happen to live in somewhere like Perth, good day. I am the Minister for Gobbledegook, which also incorporates the departments of Balderdash and Codswallop. Our beloved communicator has particularly asked me to speak to you about your concern. Now, we all know that you, the public of Australia, are concerned, and we are concerned that you are concerned, and we know that you are concerned because you know that we are concerned about you being concerned. Let there be no concern about that. Only the other day, our beloved communicator called us in for one of those Monday morning chats. It was during one of these top-level meetings that I raised the worrying issue of the public's concern. Our beloved communicator said, "What do you mean they're concerned? That is absolute rubbish. They are not concerned. They are hurt. Hurt! H-U-R-T, he shouted. At which time, of course, his eyes filled with tears, and we all knew what to expect. Fortunately, Senator Button, who had been momentarily lost in the thick pile of the luxurious carpet, jumped out and activated the Guinness Book of Records blubbermeter. I am proud to report that our beloved communicator blubbed for solidly 35.5 minutes, which created a new record for blubbing. Needless to say, we all put down our knitting and gave our beloved leader a standing ovation. He dried his eyes and he said, "Well, what are we going to do about this hurt?" I immediately held up my hand and said, "Please, sir, I believe I have the answer." He said, "Okay, Minister for Gobbledegook, what is it?" I replied that it just so happens, sir, that ASIO reported to me several months ago that we could expect any moment an invasion of the dreaded rattlesnakes into Australia. They also reported that they knew of a certain Dr. Mountebank who had developed Mountebank's world-famous rattlesnake bite cure back in Sacramento, California. Instantly, cunning devil that I am, I contacted him and bought up his entire supply, which I had shipped out here secretly aboard the USS Missouri. Just as the shipment arrived, I learnt that the rattlesnake invasion was off, which left the government with this huge supply of Dr. Mountebank's world-famous rattlesnake bite cure. I happen to have a bottle of it here right now. Well, sir, seeing these new interest rates, which are causing so much hurt and have been likened to the bite of a rattlesnake, I got his attention here, I suggest that we make an offer of a bottle of Dr. Mountebank's amazing potion to the public. No money need be involved. Just unmarked notes sent to this address, Minister for Gobbledegook, Parliament House, Canberra. On receipt of the potion, you simply rub it on the hurt, and I'm assured by the good doctor that it will go away instantly. Our beloved leader threw down his copy of Best Bets, reached over the table and gave me a hug, at the same time shouting, "Gobbledegook, brilliant, go to it." He then, of course, burst into tears and started reciting, "I love a sunburnt country, land of sweeping plains." At that point of time, of course, we all left hurriedly. So there you are. That's the solution to your hurt. Now, come on. Would I tell you a lie? Thank you for your attention. Until the next time, this is your Minister for Gobbledegook saying sayonara, goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Excellent. Just watching you there, Noel, you know, of course, I mean, it showed once again just what a fantastic performer you are, an actor. I mean, you get into the role of something. I'm not too sure whether you're method or not, but what's in that gobbledygook? By the way. But the one thing I reckon that we've got to have a look at, Noel, if you don't mind me being seemingly rude.
Yeah.
Yesterday on the show, we did what we call a makeover. A delightful lady in the audience, Jenny, who looked originally like this, became this after 55 minutes. Now, I'm not suggesting that we make you look like that,
well,
but I really believe that Noel Ferrier needs... Not again. Noel Ferrier needs a look of the late 80s and 90s.
You think?
Yes. David and Erica, please enter, if you will.
David and Erica, what are you going to do?
I'm going to ask you to go with them to the makeup room.
David and Erica.
It will take, yes. David's on the right, that's Erica on the left.
Hello, Erica, my dear.
Do something with David and Erica. And, careful, David. Make him, give him a Ferrier look of the 90s, OK? Just go with them, Noel. They'll look after you. Let's hear a Noel Ferrier as he leaves our soundstage. Good luck, Noel. Our makeup and hairdressing experts here on the Bert Newton Show believe this is how Noel Ferrier should go into the 1990s. Noel Ferrier. Let's show the pony.
The pony? Is there a ponytail there?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think it looks rather nice.
You look like a dishevelled Frederick Parslow.
It looks as though I've just got caught in a vacuum cleaner.
What's it like having all that hair up there? Isn't it
It's
wonderful?
marvellous. It's marvellous. Yeah,
And look at the jacket.
Nice.
You look wonderful, Noel.
I think I might get into leather after all, do you think?
Well, we can at least talk after the show.
Do you have leather shops down here? You'd know, wouldn't you?
Yes. We'll see you soon. You've got a return booking, haven't you?
Not unless I get arrested on the way out of here today.
Noel Ferrier, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show tomorrow. Professor Geoffrey Blaney, Paddy Boston and also Jonathan Cummings.